America decides tomorrow. Tomorrow's election day, and we know the candidates are using their last few hours, time is precious, to make their final pitches to voters.
We got former President Donald Trump. He has spent the afternoon in North Carolina. He is currently at this hour holding a rally in Pennsylvania before he'll close the night out up north in Michigan. Vice President Kamala Harris, meantime, crisscrossing Pennsylvania today, the last day, which will end for her with a concert and a rally in Philadelphia. And while, of course, there is no early voting that happened today, we did find out some numbers today. 9 million Texans cast their ballots early during early voting this year, but that's down from the last presidential election 4 years ago. That is interesting. ION Politics reporter Jack Fink is here. I heard that. I saw that. What do you make of the numbers, though?
Well, it certainly caught my attention, Doug. The numbers also may surprise some people as well. After all, there are 1.2 million people more who are registered to vote in Texas this year than 2020. And so there's a simple explanation for this trend that we're seeing, and that's the COVID pandemic. When you look at the people who voted early in person, those who went to the polls, there are about 52,000 more people 4 years ago than this year. Now, look at the huge differences in the number of people who voted early by mail. There were more than 937,000 people who did so in 2020, but this year there are about 347,000 people who voted early by mail. A whopping difference of 589,000 votes. Because of the pandemic 4 years ago, the state made some adjustments to the rules.
We had a lot of special election provisions in 2020. We had 3 whole weeks of early voting in person, which encouraged a lot of people to vote early. And also a lot of people had anxiety about COVID-19 and voted by mail. Many of the senior citizens who can vote by mail elected to do that.
That's pollster Ross Hunt, who says so far during the early vote, they've seen a greater turnout for Republicans who voted in the primaries and independents, who are those who did not vote in the primaries. He said the numbers of Democrats who voted early has fallen off from 4 years ago so far, particularly in counties like Dallas, Harris, which is Houston, Bexar, which is San Antonio, El Paso, and in the larger counties in South Texas. The percentage of people voting in those areas is lower than the statewide average. Hunt believes the number of people who will have voted in both during the early voting and on Election Day this year will likely be around the same as 4 years ago, around 11.2 million. Now, if there is a surge in voters tomorrow, there could be as many as 12 million people who voted in Texas. Doug?
And that exactly proves my point, why I love asking you questions, because not only the answers, but the answers with a whole lot of context. Jack, thank you so much.